Good morning, guys. Brisk Tuesday morning. I'm gonna head up to the shop today. I have access to a forklift up there. I'm going to lift the canopy up and fix this garbage shield that's on this thing. I ran into some issues yesterday. I came out to check on something and pulled out one of my drawers that I had in here, and there was mouse poop in there. No clue how they got in or why they are in here. So I vacuumed everything out. Seems like I still have some new mouse poop in here, so they're still in here somewhere. That's cool. I put this mouse trap in here. Doubt it caught anything, but let's check. Nothing. Alright, well, let's go up to the shop. I literally took everything out of here. All that's left in here is a couple mouse deterrent packs, which looks like they pooped right on it. So that's a great sign. I don't know how they're getting in. I have all the holes in my bed taped up, so I don't see anywhere they ate through any of my tape. So, and they also ate my bedding, which was great. So I'll guess I'll see you guys at the shop and we'll go from there. All right, guys, it's 2.5 hours later. Ended up not going to the shop yet, anyways. Basically pulled my entire interior out, wiped down everything, went through, basically put tape over all the body plugs. I saw some dust kind of intrusion coming down. You can kind of see it dripping down the sides. Had no big holes. I don't know where the mouses were coming into. And then I remember somebody on the ZR2 page mentioning that there's huge holes into the bed rails. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me grab a flashlight here. See if we can get you guys in here. Huge holes. Front and back on both sides of the bed rails. I'm going to have to get some expanding foam, I guess, and pump it in there and hope that it doesn't drip down the inside. But that's the only big holes that I could really see anything getting in and out of. So figured I'd pull the whole interior out just to make sure that there was nothing hiding under the floor or anything. Nothing in here. So whatever came in here is already left. So I guess I'll run up to Ace and grab some expanding foam and do that while I do the my seals. All right, guys, I'll get back with you guys here in a little bit. All right, guys, it decided to absolute dump rain right in the middle of me putting my interior back in. I'm hoping this sun sticks around for a couple of minutes. This was supposed to rain at all today, but I got the interior back in. Took me about an hour. That's the one nice thing about extrusion is it's pretty quick to take out and put back in. Got everything aired out. I sprayed Lysol over the whole inside. I think I'm going to skip going to the shop today because it's already 1 o'clock. I'll just go up tomorrow. I'll get the camper pulled. I think what I'm going to do is just pull the pucks on each side. So I'll do the 2 on this side, the 2 on that side, and I'm just going to lift it up one side at a time. So I'll just hook a strap to the Lone Peak handles on the corners, lift up this side, and pull the seal out, put the new one in. I got a whole bag basically of the same, not sure what I did with it, the same seals that they're using now. I think it's like let's see here, 25 feet of it. It was like $10 on Amazon. It's a double bulb seal that they use, so shouldn't take hopefully too long. I've got a adhesive remover at the shop, so I'll just, like I said, lift up the canopy. I'll pull both of the seals off, clean it up, and then put just that one bulb seal on. And I'm hoping that's going to get rid of my issues while I'm driving. I'm just guessing, but This seal that they use, this foam seal, collects water. When you squeeze it, water comes out of it. So that's good to get rid of. Um, yeah, so hopefully that'll get rid of my issue when I'm going down the road and I hit a bump. It rocks the canopy. Um, just getting rid of that 1/4 inch of foam in between the two seals, and it'll just be on the one seal. Hopefully that'll squish enough to where it'll be a nice tight fit. Started pouring, but I just got to get one more drawer in, and then the tops to my bench and on the side here. But I'm going to let it air out for about 20-30 minutes, since it just, like I said, instantly I looked up, dark clouds, like, oh, it looks like it's going to rain. Then 5 seconds later, it just started absolutely dumping. So I closed it up as fast as I could. I'm sure it'll be fine for a day if it stays a little wet, but I try to air out all my stuff as soon as I can. So I figured the sun's out, I'll get it all aired out while I can, and then get everything packed up, and then go up to the shop tomorrow. I'll pick this video up tomorrow when I get to the shop, and I'll video me pulling that seal out and let you guys know how easy or how big of a pain in the ass it is to do. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so I'm up at the shop. This is the next day. It's absolutely dumping rain today. I got the mounting puck U's, or whatever they want to call them, undone. I'm going to lift up one side at a time, remove this garbage seal, and put a new seal in there. I'll try to video as much as I can here. So I got some plastic razor blades and my heat gun. Hopefully I'll be able to get everything done with those two things. Yep. First seal's coming off easy because they just put a seal under a seal. Let's see if the second one comes off just as easy. I'm gonna assume not. Looks like the foam part of the seal is coming off, but the tape is staying on. Alright, got this garbage foam seal. It's absolutely soaked. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but when I squeeze it, water's basically just coming out all the pores. Let's see if we can get this adhesive off of here. Might be a bit of a pain. Feels like very thin adhesive. Not sure what it is. Definitely doesn't feel like 3M. 3M's a lot thicker than that. I'm using a plastic razor blade so I don't scratch the finish on this. I'm gonna try to not use a metal razor blade as much as I can. Yeah, stuff's just sticking on there real good. Grab some gloves and some adhesive remover really quick. I usually use 3M adhesive remover, but I got some of these on Amazon. They're just look like alcohol wipes, but they're adhesive remover. I used it to remove the adhesive off of my car before I sold it, and it worked pretty good. 3M stuff works great, but it's in a spray bottle, like an aerosol can, so it's not the easiest to control where you're spraying it. I'm going to assume this is why they didn't remove that foam strip, because I knew it was going to be a pain to get the adhesive off the bottom of this. I'm kind of debating, I might pull this bed cap while I have everything off and throw some silicone underneath it. After looking for that mouse yesterday, I realized how empty and open it is under there. It's going to be near impossible, guys. So, get this really warm and see what happens. Not really too worried about tape side of things, because it's just going to be sitting on top of it, so I might just get this super warm and put the new seal on top of this tape. This tape is so thin, I think I'm just going to stick my new stuff underneath the bottom of it. Let's get a rag and get everything dried. After lifting this thing up, I've realized how extremely front heavy this thing is. So if I can get this cap pulled off. I had it off before. I need to get this thing lifted up just a hair more. Don't suggest people lifting it up the way I am. I assume it's not the best way, but it's what I had for being by myself today. Not too worried about the clips on the bottom of this. Camper will hold it down. See that giant hole that everybody was telling me about. Grab my air blower and blow this off here. That did absolutely nothing. Alright. So, trying to see how this is set up here. Grab a... So this is the seal that they put on over the foam seal. It's a double bulb seal. This is the one I got from Amazon. Basically exactly the same thing. We'll just put that under there. That should not give it any squish room. So let's get some silicone on this. Not really sure if this is going to do anything. There's a pretty large gap under there, but just using Dynaflex from DAP Black. And kind of, actually, there's a, you can kind of see the outline of where the bed cap inner skeleton is, so I'll just follow that. Don't want to use a whole bunch because I want to make sure I got enough room or enough for the other side. I feel sorry for whoever's got to pull this cap off next time. Kind of. Assume it's not going to be me, so I'm not too worried about it. Everything lined up before we push it down here. As much as we can anyways.
You just got to get this to stick long enough to get the camper back down. It's going to hold itself down. The clamps, obviously. Seal is just that. It's a seal, so the weight of the camper will hold it down. Definitely seems to not have any interest in sticking to this. Might just slowly set the camper back down and adjust this as it goes down. On anything right now, and there's about a half-inch gap in the back, so that's always good, I suppose. Not sure what's going on with that. Everything's still square. I'm going to assume it's because it's either the camper or the bed of my truck has got some sort of, well, I'm going to say it's my truck, it has some sort of boas to the bed from the factory. I mean, there's no damage on it, and I've ran a canopy on here for the last 3.5 years, and it never had an issue sealing on the sides, so I'm not 100% certain on what's going on there. Looks like I'm gonna have to move my gear bolt just a hair. The mounting puck doesn't want to take the little U-bolts anymore for some reason. Won't slide up into it for some reason. Figure out what's going on there. There it goes. I think I like the way my my Alu-cab mounted a little bit better. They used the stake pocket holes on the sides of the truck, which moved the clamps as far forward and as far backwards as you could go. With the bed rail U-clips, they push the clamps like a foot from each end, so you don't get clamping force on the ends. It's still a foot of flex, which I'm sure with the extruded aluminum that they use is not a huge deal. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. That gets me down. I don't want to get it too tight. I'll cut this a little bit long. Just we'll cut it to size when everything's tightened down. Nice and tight up here. Not sure if the camera picks it up, but you can see, there you go, kind of, you can see light underneath it. It's because the front of this thing is so heavy, it's kind of sitting like this, which is not a problem. We'll get that all tightened up once the other side is done. I don't want to tighten the clamps all the way, so I just cut it a little bit long, and then once I get everything tightened down, this is what I was talking about. It'd be nice. The Alu-cab used to mount right here and mount to the stake pocket hole, so you got about almost a foot there. But all right, I'm gonna spin the truck around, and then we'll do the passenger side. I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. All right, guys, I spared you the fun adventure of doing this side, so I lifted it up same way I did the other side. Forklift ran through my handles on the side, pulled the old seal out, put some silicone underneath the bed rail, set it back down on the new seal. Another huge gap here, so I'm just going to go through and tighten all of the clamps now and see what kind of seal we get. Kyle put out torque settings for these. My torque settings are going to be good and tight. the good old German torque specs. I feel these rear ones need a little more down pressure to keep the back of the camper down. Got the torque wrenches at home. I'll just confirm and make sure they're at least the torque that he put out. Alright, right there, I think I've bottomed out the clamp, and I'm not anywhere near being tight. That's not good. Might have to pull those clamps out and weld some metal on the top of them. Yeah, it won't go any tighter. So I may have to pull these clamps and weld across the top of them. I assume they're probably stainless, so that's a little bit more difficult, but I'll manage that, or I'll maybe I'll just cut some shims to go on top. I should have had them send me the shorter clamps. I think they said they had 2 or 3 different sizes. It's unfortunate. I'm going to assume I had the shorter clamps originally. They may have swapped them out when they did the double seal, which obviously is not going to work for me. Or the longer, I guess, is what I need, not shorter. How much room do I have under there? Decent amount of room. I don't need much, probably 1/4 inch. Let's see, this is 11 gauge, so it's going to be right around 1/4 inch with 2 of them. It's tied up against the bed clamps now. Alright, that stopped recording right in the middle. My battery's dead, so I just ran my USB cord up to my USB charger inside the camper. But I got those shims put in, and this is definitely getting some clamping force now. Way better than it was, so I'm going to do the same to this side. Let's get this dropped down a little bit. Okay. Sneak my way in here. Ouch. It's going to be a little bit more difficult with the I have to take this side cabinet out here. It'd be a lot easier with 2 people, or if they did it correct the first time. I have the right clamps. That would help too, I suppose. Okay, I think I got those pretty good in there. I have not put the front clamps on yet. Gonna do the rears first, and then we'll do the fronts. Fronts have already got a lot of pressure on them. The seals are almost completely flat up there. Let me close the door really quick here and see what kind of gaps I'm looking at here. Pretty decent sized gap over there, and almost no gap over there. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do, ordered, I think I've got 6 bags total of the T-nuts from Lone Peak. They used a weird size, so you can't just go up and buy one, which kind of sucks. Alright, so basically just grabbed a piece of metal, ran a bolt through it with the T-nut on the other side. I'm gonna put it here. And tighten it up so it's pulling against my bed rail, and hopefully it'll bring the side rail in just a little bit. Already bottomed out alright, the shoulder. Need a shorter bolt. Just here. Check my gaps again. A little bit better. It's actually this over here. I think we need to go just a hair out. Trial and error till you get everything correct. Alright, now let's check that gap. Still kind of tight, but I think that's going to be okay. Let's get that tightened. Alright. I think that's right where it needs to be. I'll show you guys why I did that in a second here. Yeah, check this morning. I don't see any fresh mouse poop in here. So I'm hoping we got whatever was causing them to come in out of here, or allowing them to come in, I guess I should say. Alright, I made this little bracket for my my onboard air, which is mounted. You guys can see that. It's mounted under where my fridge is at, controlled by the light bar button here. The bracket, I did not put any standoffs behind it, so I think when I lifted it up and put it back down, it was just enough tension there to pull the canopy over. Back on here. Not putting it on super tight, just enough to hold it there. All right. So now still gonna be pretty tight, but it's a lot better than it was. I feel like my door is not perfectly square. I don't know if that's something that can be adjusted down the road. All right, let's get all these clamps tight, and then I'll show you guys how to adjust the seal on the rear door. It's fairly easy, and I've done that a couple times. It's definitely better than it was. I think we'll leave that for right now. So let's grab the next piece of metal. I'll go do the front clamps. Friend of mine, Ryan, called me yesterday, and we were kind of talking about the mouse thing. And I live on a farm, so he's been surprised that I haven't had mouse issues before. But we're thinking, well, he told me about using steel wool in holes to seal them off because the mice won't go through it. They don't like the feeling of chewing on steel wool. So I got online. I can't use steel wool because it's obviously going to be out in the weather somewhat. So I got to thinking about using like copper or something, and I came across bronze steel wool, which is made from copper or something similar. And so I ordered some on Amazon because they didn't have any in stock in any of the stores locally to me. Ace, which is usually where I go, said it was 4 days out. Amazon had it to me. Actually, I woke up and it was sitting in my driveway this morning, so I'm going to try to fill the holes under my bed rails I was showing you guys yesterday with that. Next up is going to be trimming the seal here on both sides to where it needs to be. This side I have not trimmed at all, so we'll just do a rough cut just to get that off of there. sense. Wrap everything here. Alright, so now we'll trim up to the camper rails here so we're not running into issues with the door closing correctly. Alright, trim the other side the same way. I feel like there's a lot less movement now than there was prior. But we'll see when we're driving down the road, see if I can see that the bouncing of the tailgate area. So I'll put these away here, and then we're going to pull out a smaller, I believe it's a 2mm Allen wrench. It might be 2.5, but we'll check. Actually, I'm almost positive it's a 2.5. Okay, 2.5, and then a 10 mil. Working out of my truck toolbox here. No, I'm a liar. That's not a 10 mil. That's an 8 mil. Remember that from before. 8 mil. Perfect fit. All right. So to adjust the tailgate seal, this is a movable plate. You go through, hold your Allen, backside's a 10 mil. Might grab a socket just to make this a little easier on myself. But basically you just loosen the lock nut on the back. Loosen all of them. Not a knot lock nut, it's a nylock nut. Loosen all of these. So I'm going to push it as far up as it'll go, which is almost where it needs to be. So I'm still catching on this side. Still a huge gap. That's just the way it is. I guess. A little tighter than I want it to be over here. So let's go ahead and adjust this a little bit more. It's a little bit frustrating, but you know, new camper. I don't know if I'm the first Colorado. I couldn't get a straight answer out of anybody. I know there's been a few after me. I know there's one up in BC, and I think there might have been one from somewhere else. I just got one installed as well. Let's get that out. You guys back over here. I was thinking about cutting this down, but it's nice for you guys to see all the work that goes into doing any of this stuff. It's not the greatest, but you know. Somebody's got to do it, right? They give you a bar to keep everything square if you take it off. I should have hooked that up before I did all this, but I didn't, so here we are. Might pull this off for now and just redesign. I don't know if that's putting tension on everything and pulling it out of square over and over again. I'm almost positive I have exactly the same amount of space between each puck and the side of my bed, so I'm not sure what's going on, why that's so out of square on the tailgate. If the tailgate just wasn't cut correctly, or what the deal is there. It's not touching now, but it's still really close. It's almost, I don't know what it's almost like. It's almost like the I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I won't be able to get that far, but see how close this is here. It's almost touching it. And the other side, I'd unplug you guys. You guys can't, well, you might be able to see it. Let's see if I go with this. There you go. It's like almost a 1/4 inch gap there. It's like this side is too. It's like this side is too far in, but I can't rotate it any further out because the puck is touching the side of the bed, which shouldn't make a difference because this side's actually further into my bed rail. As far as I know, there's no adjustment in the it's pretty straight there. It's almost like the canopy has gone like this a hair. Like the top is rotated over somehow. I remember there being a slight difference in that when I picked it up. Might just live with it. It's just so odd to me. It's like the left side is almost identical gap, top to bottom. Right side starts at the same 1/4 inch, but then by the time it hits here, it's like it's curved in. Everything closes fine, so I'm not sure what would be causing that. Other than, like I said, if the door wasn't cut straight. I'll have to go back and look at my photos to see if it was like that when I picked it up. Yeah, it's definitely changed since the day I got home. I don't know if you guys could see this or not. It's a pretty even gap on that right side. Not sure what would cause that. The only thing I have added to the canopy itself is my awning, which I was told wouldn't be an issue. Everything seems to be the same here, side to side. You might have, it's about the same gap left to right. Just a hair more. That definitely made the gap a lot better. But it's still huge on this other side. It's very odd. Definitely gonna check when I get home with the that rear bar they gave me to see if that fits between everything or if I'm something else going funky here. It's just a hair better. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's definitely better than it was. So I got about 1/8 of a gap there and probably 3/8 of a gap on the other side. So I have about 1/4 of an inch on this side, the front ones, between the puck and the bed rail. And definitely a little less space on this side. I feel like the gaps are pretty similar now. They might have been before. I was using 2 different fingers to feel it, so that could be my own fault here. Exactly the same still. Not sure, guys. I'll reach out to Kyle and Keisha and see if they have any ideas. I think first I'll check to see if that bar that they gave me with the camper, to see if maybe something's tweaked out of shape. It's almost like this thing went back after I tightened that. I think this yeah, I think I'm gonna wait till I get home. I might loosen these clamps up, put that bar in the middle, then tighten everything up again. I have a feeling that might be one of my issues. So now let's close everything up and get this tailgate seal figured out. and get the hell out of here. So that needs to go down just a hair. Maybe there. This would be a million times easier with two people as well. Tight so it doesn't leak, but I don't want it too tight because then it makes it almost impossible to open up from the inside when you're trying to get out in the morning or after you've been inside, I guess. Might take that down just a hair more. Out there. It's tight, but I don't think it's too tight. Let's get the sides correct. There. It's actually pretty good. I think I like that. That looks a million times better because it doesn't have a huge gap now because I took out a 1/4 of an inch of sealant, and I'm hoping that that actually didn't cause my issues because the door has not been fitting right for a week or so, and I'm hoping just the movement of the old seal didn't tweak something out of alignment. It'd be very unfortunate if it did. Just tightening everything up. Let me move you guys back so you can actually see something, huh? Sorry guys, I'm into photography, not video stuff, so give me some time to get everything dialed in. Once the weather gets nice, we'll start taking the drone out as well. Okay, nice and tight. Still has a little bit of a gap, so it's not catching. Cool. Let's pick up and get the fridge put back in here and head back to the house. I'm sure it's probably lunchtime right about now. Yeah, 10:45, not terrible. Been here a couple hours. Garbage, this will stay here. This goes with this set. Anybody else run a tool roll? I used to carry around a little toolbox with me, but then I got this Rhino. Yeah, Rhino USA. They had a sale, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and I picked this up. It's been great. I have a full set of screwdrivers, have a chain wrench and some miscellaneous stuff. I got a whole metric set from 8 to 19 ratcheting Matco wrenches. They're my old ones. I threw them in here. A couple of snap-on crescent wrenches or adjustable wrenches, whatever you want to call them. Smooth teeth and grip teeth. These are the best crescent wrenches you can use. I've gone through hundreds and I've never had an issue with those. Don't keep a socket set with me. I've never ran into the need for one. I might buy a cheap Harbor Freight set and just throw it in here because I've got an empty pocket that's got sockets written on it. I'm going to stop by Ace on my way home and grab some caulking to caulk the corners again because I ripped the caulking out when I lifted the canopy up. Oh yeah, we're going to do the steel wool too. Let me grab that really quick. This is the steel wool I got. Bronze wool, rust resistant. Premium quality. It's a fine kind, so shouldn't have rust issues with that. I think I'll just need I got 2 packs, so I figured I'd need 1 roll per hole. I might be able to get away with just cramming half a roll up here on each side. Took a video yesterday and showed you guys the giant holes that Chevy decided to leave in the bed rails. I might have pushed that a little too far in there. That's okay. All right, that one's good. I'll break it up a little bit. This crap gets everywhere. And this one up here. Bed rails. That's actually working way better than I thought it would. All right, everything's back in the truck. Let's get the truck pulled out and this forklift put away. And we'll head back to the house. Said I'll swing by Ace on my way home and grab some caulk, some black silicone, get these corners resealed up. And I'll report back when I get home if I'm still having issues with this camper rocking back and forward. Hoping everything's dialed in now. Still a pretty tight seal. I didn't do a video on it, but I replaced this seal on here with my own seal they had. It was impossible to open the canopy from the inside. Alright guys, I'll pick this back up when I get home. Alright guys, just got home. Stopped by Ace on the way home. Grabbed some DAP 230 flexible sealant. Got it loaded up into my caulking gun here. Try to set you guys down. Get basically just need to pump some into the cab corners up front here. I've gotten the stuff on my hands multiple times in the past. It is a pain to get it off your hands, so make sure you clean it off right after you use it. There and over here. All right. Simple as that. Back out of here. Sorry for the wonderful view. Raining right this second, but I got some pretty dark clouds above us. I give it 2 or 3 minutes and it's going to start pouring down again. As I say that and I start getting raindrops on my head. Way home, I'd say I fixed about, I don't know, maybe 75-80% of my issue. Still getting a little bit of a gap when I hit a bump, the camper rocking forward. I have been thinking up a way of fixing that, and I think I have figured it out. I think I'm going to email over and get a couple more pucks coming. I think I'm just going to make my own mounts here. Probably right about here. Goes down to where the factory stake pocket holes are, where the alucab. I think that'll pinch it down just enough in the back. I don't know if you guys can see. See if I can get you guys in far enough. The U-brackets here, they're kind of, I don't know, they're kind of bowing when you tighten them. I think I need a shorter version. I might see if they can send me those as well, but I think when I hit a bump, it's just enough movement in those rocking that the back of this just lifts up just slightly. But yeah, I think I'm done for the day today. Weather is starting to rain, so I'm just going to go inside and get this video edited. Get it up online for you guys. Tomorrow I think I'll get everything back in here. It's supposed to start getting nicer tomorrow afternoon into Friday. I'll get the rest of the interior put back in here, and then I'll make another video with everything. But all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those that have jumped on my Etsy and ordered. my diesel heater port quick connect and the awning loops. Appreciate all you guys for that. Got out, I think, 27 orders last week for those. So appreciate all you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.